on the world.
All right, guys, we are back at it again, episode 65.
Yes.
Third Eye Podcast. Coming right back at you guys. We are live downtown St. Joseph, Michigan.
Yeah.
It's not Missouri.
So I give you the whole location.
You're gonna get the whole location. Jesus.
I am your host, James Gill, and this is my co-host, Joe Hill.
Still here.
Back again. All right, guys, we got a special guest tonight.
Special
guest.
I think
This guy is a man of many hats. He does all kinds of stuff, from production to has his own band. He does all kinds of stuff, man. Welcome, Marc Van Gilder.
Hey, it's a name you can say.
Thanks, guys.
People looking down at us.
And cheers.
You know what? This is probably the first time I got the whole name right.
Appreciate you guys having me on.
Anybody.
It is. It's the first name you got.
Without even messing it up. Sorry, guys. I went through the bullshit that I put you through. I apologize.
And he hits the right button too.
Yeah, I did. I did it all right.
Oh, look at that.
I'm a professional now.
Whatever.
Welcome to the show, man. How you been?
I appreciate it. I've been great. It's been wonderful. Spring's right around the corner.
Oh, no. Yes. I'm ready for it, man. What about you?
I'm ready for that. First
Spring
game. Sorry, I'm thinking about football already.
Well, baseball just started.
Yeah. Come on, give it baseball a little chance. I'm ready for that. Just
Too
get
long.
rid of this snow, man, and all the cold weather.
For sure.
This is a bunch of bullshit.
It's been pretty frigid.
It's been nice for the last couple of days. I'll tell you that. 40 degrees, I take it.
I came out of hibernation and here I am.
Yeah, there we go. All right. What are you doing?
Live chat. If they want to ask questions.
Okay. If you guys watching right now, ask questions and we'll get back to you. All right, man. So
Who are you?
yes, that's the big
Who
question.
is the man behind the beard?
Yes. That's the question. The $1 million question. And
Who is
a
Marc
diabolical laugh.
Who is Marc Van Gilder?
Well, just like you guys, I grew up right here in Southwest Michigan.
Did you really?
Believe that or not.
I didn't know that. I don't.
Just a St. Joe native and a Lakeshore graduate.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, man.
That's weird.
You always say that.
Ah,
You always say that.
I'm a St. Joe grad. Hell yeah, I was. Everybody, not that's Lakeshore. Feel
So-
bad for 'em, country people.
What? Jesus Christ.
Go back to your overalls.
Come on, George.
Yeah.
Well, you guys are better. St. Joe's is better. It's a small town. What are you talking about? It's not like it's a city or something.
It's the rivalry that we have.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah,
Go back
you
to
don't know that. You had Waterloo League, didn't you?
Yeah, I was close.
So,
I'm
yeah.
close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's back and forth. You and Waterloo League now.
The train track.
Yeah. See,
But I wasn't born in Columbus.
no, you're born in what?
In Harbor.
I'm not gonna name him.
The Twin Cities of St. Joe.
That's right. Cities.
They look the same.
They do now.
They look the same right now.
Getting better. So, from St. Joe, born and raised, and then going to Lakeshore and all that stuff, I'll go fast forward a little bit. How did you get into the music biz and sound and everything else that you've been doing in your life? How'd you get into it? Did you go to school?
Well, that's interesting, right?
Oh, hey, I feel like
Here we
this
go.
is stuff.
I was in the right place at the right time, I suppose.
Wow. How's that work out?
Well, it worked out pretty nice. It set me on a path of doing something that I've enjoyed my whole life.
What's the right time and the right place?
Well, there used to be a recording studio in town, and I was able to jump aboard when they were going into a sound company.
Nice.
And what place is this?
This was called Metalhead Recording and Sound
Really?
originally, and turned into Full Range Sound.
Where at?
And this was a house at the end of Lincoln Avenue.
I never knew that.
Didn't know there was a sound place out there like that.
No, just the sound, a
Yeah.
place for recording around here. So
That's
Correct.
kinda cool.
This was back in the 90s.
back
Oh,
in the
oh,
90s.
shit.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Still from the area, you
Got to
never
stretch
know.
it out a little bit.
Yeah. So you got into that. How did you get into the music biz and the production stuff of all of that nature?
I guess it goes back to being a child and acting and doing choir. I had a very active mother in that, and she pushed me into everything that way. Originally, she was a model, and I think she was just kind of living through me at that age.
Vicariously living through you.
So I did a lot of things I did not enjoy,
So you
which
didn't
is funny,
you didn't
right?
like it at first, yeah.
Oh, absolutely not. I was a very shy person
Yeah.
back then, but
Bullshit.
Oh my god.
Bullshit.
You just said you were shy and you were choking my beer. Jesus.
Bullshit.
What's
Uh,
in this?
it obviously opened me up.
Yeah.
You know,
Did you spike my drink? You said you were a shy kid.
No, knowing you now that you saying you're shy, so you were definitely an introvert from the beginning.
for
How
some senses, yes,
How
I
would
would
you
think
break out
so.
of that?
I don't know. It just happens, I guess.
So
It was just building into it, like going up a ladder that you're afraid to go up. The
Yeah.
more you do it, the better it gets.
So mom put you in all these
Like that.
extracurricular activities. You hated it. So when did you start liking
Probably when I wasn't doing it anymore.
Yeah,
Really?
You know,
yeah, I'll give him that. I mean, yeah.
you learn to
used
love
to it.
something when you're away from it,
Right.
Oh yeah.
and you can look at it. The hard work put into it up front. The return doesn't seem to be as huge.
Yeah.
But then when you walk away from something, it's like, wow, I really miss that.
So now was your mom like really pushing you to do this stuff?
She was pretty hard on,
Yeah.
on me on that. Elementary school, I was found over in Chicago doing casting calls for commercials and
Really?
such, and doing modeling and those sorts of things. And I missed a lot of school. She finagled me around.
Yeah.
But it was worth it. It just built character. Just a taste of things.
Yeah.
That's
So
kind of cool that she made you do all, but took you around places and let her. You saw her life. You got to see that.
absolutely.
So that kind of opened you up a little bit more to a whole new era of life in general. You had to pretty much be who you are. So I understand that. I
In
get
a
it.
way, I was pouring in.
Yeah.
Not that she did the same thing that I do.
No, probably not. I mean, shit. Back then, it was a totally different era.
Absolutely.
No computers, no social media, no cell phone. So you just take different shots, face pictures.
You can think 15, 20 years ago and say that same thing.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Everything's
Definitely 20
changed.
years ago, yeah. A lot has changed.
Those were the good times.
Those were the good times. I don't know, man. Those were good times, but we're gonna get off that part. that right there was
Don't hate, appreciate.
well, I do appreciate the technology, but I agree with you.
Yeah.
I do love those times.
I would have to say technology is wonderful.
Yeah.
When it works.
When it works, yeah. And when it doesn't, it's like catastrophe in all areas of that word. So
I like how you said that because the last time the technology didn't work, I was not used to, or you were. What happened with your technology was what last time you played the sandbar, you had a gig, something go out.
I've been at many shows,
Technology right
small and huge, where
Yeah.
we've had things go out at the wrong time. And it's all about how quickly you can react and what you have to replace it
You
with.
did good.
That night at the sandbar, we had nothing there. So we had to source it out, get it there, and continue on our journey.
Yeah, that was actually a pretty good gig after that. All that happened though, but
I've seen you at work, and you like for the New Year's Eve thing,
oh, that was awesome.
dude. You were all over the place.
That was a great
Where did you learn all that stuff? As far as the production part of it?
Josh.
Well, working at Rattlehead 4-inch Town,
Yeah.
just coming up, just doing the gigs that we did. A lot of our stuff was based at a club called Heartland in South Bend.
Yeah.
And I would say I cut my ears down there between that and the State Theater and became an engineer down there before I hit the road.
Yeah, I remember you at Heartland and the State Theater when I was DJing.
There's lots of stuff that going on down there. So it was good times because you had such a wide genre of music going through there.
Yeah.
You know, and so it wasn't just locked in one thing, and everything leads to something else. And you know, I say I'm a rock and roll engineer, but I do choirs, I do church events, I do anything that requires those types of skills. And that leads me into different parts of the world that I never would have been without the job. So I appreciate the job for that. immensely.
That's humble. I like that. It's being very humble.
Well, yeah,
I mean, it is. I
yeah,
mean,
you're right about that.
he's being very humble. That is actually an awesome answer to your question. I like it. Good job. Wait. So from Heartland and State Theater, though, I have to ask, it was definitely two different types of genres and elements in those places.
Yes and no. I mean, there were competitive clubs next door to each other.
Yeah. I mean, one was more techno, upbeat, same beat every single time scenario.
Trance music.
Yeah. At Heartland. Then it became Club Fever, still the same kind of scenario, just a different name. And then you had State Theater that was more R&B, Motown, everything else that was there, going back and forth. I mean, you had two separate places, but the one club I still love the most was State Theater.
The State Theater was a wonderful room.
Yeah, it
Still
was.
is.
Still is, but
Still,
not,
they do a
not
lot of
there
different
anymore.
things there.
I mean,
Yes.
A lot of different things.
they don't open it up that much anymore like it used to.
I don't know if it's actually
it's not.
operating right
It's not.
now. It
They're
looks
trying
like
to
the
sell it.
city's going to buy it.
Yeah, the city's gonna buy it out
Yeah.
outright, but yeah, it's nothing there right now. Even what was that one place down in down on the river in South Bend? That was a great little place that had great music. Oh shit,
Trying to-
yeah.
Well, I'd have to say, going back to the State Theater, I have memories there. And one of those memories, I'm going to see the band again. It's Humphreys McGee. They're going to
Yes.
be playing at the Morris coming up here, and I'm part of the production team.
Are you
going in
really?
there. And back in the day, those guys got their start right there in South Bend. They're all Notre Dame grads, and they used to play over at Mishawaka Brew Pub, and I was part of the sound teams, working with those guys back then in the State Theater. I remember many gigs over there with those guys.
Oh, dude, I remember that was an awesome show because I went to a couple of shows there and when they play at Kalamazoo. And dude, they're phenomenal. And,
Absolutely.
And their music is just jamming away. I would love to see them again. I didn't know they're coming back around this area. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Probably can.
I probably could.
Yeah.
Take me a while. Hop in my fucking scooter. Thanks. You fucking can, yeah. Let's go. Start walking out when you get there.
No,
Keep laughing.
if you want to go somewhere. I was
I don't want to laugh at myself.
yeah.
Wait, I'm
sorry.
not laughing.
I was trying.
Somebody reach out. Joe needs a ride.
Yeah. Go
I'll buy the ticket, but you got to do the ride. Actually, the State Theater, I DJ there. It was I was playing all R&B, rap, you name it, and this guy, I had a bouncer next to me, like this, and all of a sudden they come up to him and say, "Dude, you're playing awesome music. Oh my god, dude, you're phenomenal." And he said, "Bro, how'd you get the rhythm going down?" And he looked at him and he said, "Dude, I'm just a bouncer." I said, "Where's the DJ at?" And he's still looking past me. He says, "Where's the DJ at?" It's this white man right here. He says,
Phenomenal.
"Yeah, I don't know. I'm just using those words, but he was drunk, but either way, he thought I was just
That's
killing it. Just killing it. He said, "What's your DJ name?" I said, "I don't have one for here. Make one up." So he said, "Oh yeah, you're white. You're playing awesome music. All right, DJ Jiggy Fly." I went, "Well, that's
Jiggy
just- yeah, DJ Jiggy Fly." Because I was getting jiggy with it because that was back in the '90s, and when Will Smith made all those.
Yeah.
I went, I don't know.
Jiggy
I don't know how to go with that one, but thanks.
Yeah.
And that's when I was actually then playing there and then driving to True Green Lawn Care.
DJ G.
Yeah, I was doing selling lawn care, so I was just going there and sleeping in the parking lot because there They're work till you party till 3 in the morning.
Oh,
So
in Indiana, yeah, you can
you
do
can
that.
you can
Yep.
drink till 3.
Yep.
So I always play music till 3. I mean, I loved it. It was great. It was great times at the State Theater. That was probably one of the better DJs I heard.
So,
Yeah.
you when was what was your first gig as
Well, that's a toughie to nail down. I think about it. When the Mendel Center opened in '92, I did some shows out there, just working on just normal crew, South Pacific, Avita. It was theater. Uh, when I finally got into working at Heartland, it was probably 95, 96, and things were taking off. There was a guy named Joe Turner, who was the program manager down at WR, who was bringing in a ton of different acts. And they were having shows 2, 3 times a week with National X down there. I mean, the place was just hopping. And I got right into the mix, and I first started out just pushing road cases, just being that roadie.
Oh, you're a roadie, huh?
Well, you gotta
start somewhere?
you know?
Started from the top and worked your way down. I did. Damn, I was never a roadie.
I actually was an AMF pin setter mechanic. I worked at Kelly's Bowl here in St. Joe for many years.
Okay.
And I took my trade down to South Bend to get out of Berrien County, and Heartland was just down the street from where I was working. And so I'd set up my bowling alley, go down and help set up a stage, go back, run my leagues, go back down, do a show. And I did that for a while. Before I knew it, I was behind the console, mixing on the act. It's like, wow, look at this.
Yeah.
And that first band.
Now, what goes into mixing? Yeah, I mean, for the viewers out there that don't know what you do.
The place I was thinking of, Julie Myers. I hope I didn't kill your name. Said Club Landing.
Oh, Julie's listening right now. Thank you, Julie.
Yeah, I couldn't remember it. She kind of answered it for me, so thank you.
Yes, Club Landing on
You
Lincoln
ever
Way.
do that? You ever do there?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I couldn't remember Club Landing.
In fact, I remember when it was Holly's Landing.
That is it. I didn't know. Yeah, but yeah, thank you. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I had a comment, so I had to answer it.
I'm glad you did.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
So I worked my way up. It was basically through Heartland, where I met Julie Meyer.
Oh,
She used to be a bartender there.
she might have served you.
So I worked very hard, and one day I found myself behind a console, and Afro Man was on stage. And it was the first time I ever mixed a national act or anything, and then there I am, because I got high. Because I got high.
I know that.
The guy is a wonderful blues guitarist.
Yeah.
Who had a corny song that got him, put him on the charts and got recognition.
He was a blues guy?
Yeah, he played a good guitar.
Huh.
Really? I didn't even know that. Wow.
Know that. That's
So who would know, right?
No one. Yeah. After that song, no one knew about that.
That's what he got.
Wow.
No, I didn't know that at all.
So,
That's something new.
were there any celebrities, people that you met that you were starstruck by?
That you ever met? Wow.
I'm asked that a few times. That's a tough. I have
You don't
worked.
seem like you'd be starstruck by anybody. You seem like
Well, I've been doing it a minute, right? So I've ran across many, many people, including presidents, where I'm standing right next to them.
really
And everybody's a person.
right.
We're all people. We do different jobs. Some jobs are seen better than others.
Yeah.
And that's just the way I kind of look at it. Now, was I in awe when I was in front of David Crosby? Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
And there's artists that stick out sometimes, stuff I grew up listening to. And it's just like so cool. When I was standing in 2004 on the field of Notre Dame with the band Chicago for the first time they ever performed there.
Right.
And I'm standing next to the trombone player, original member, and he went to Notre Dame, and he was kind of like looking around. He's like, how many people are in here? I'm like, you got about 80,000 in here, another 20,000 out in the parking lot, And I'm like, yeah, you're Chicago, though. You're gonna tear this up. I told
understand where you're coming from with that because all the bands I've seen and helped out in doing shows, especially with Venetian and everything else, they all run together. I mean, I was there down there since I was 16 to whatever. Then I did the fairground, like other stuff, doing everywhere else. I just don't remember who I ran across at the time,
Absolutely.
and I think it's sad. I think it's sad. All the ones that I'm thinking, like you just said, pretty much just a normal person that
The list is
not as
long,
famous,
and
yeah.
it's, you know, it's Venetian is great.
Yeah.
Try to remember those, but you take Venetian and now make it all year long.
Yeah,
Where
I
you're
mean,
in out of the theaters and different locations doing so many different things. But the oddball gigs stand out sometimes, of course. You know, but it just all runs together because you're just doing your job.
Yeah.
That's the thing I don't think I could always. I would have to take pictures with every single person. If I was him, take pictures of every single person. Say, hey, click, because I wouldn't remember. I wouldn't remember at all.
Well, there's people out there that did things like that, and they were the first ones to grab set lists off the stage, pics, and even go ask for autographs. But
I would
that was never something that I did because it wasn't my part of my job description. I'm there to serve, take care of these guys, and make sure that the show goes well and get them out of there.
Yeah.
Not hassle them.
You just don't like
You know, as a patron.
you just sound like a cop. I'm those who serve, protect.
So when was the first time you were supposed to have rule that rule of thumb that you had right there? Don't you want to serve and make sure these guys have a great show? When was there ever a time that you went over that line?
Well, you always deal with assholes.
Okay. All right.
So there are times where you're like,
really-
oh, I don't recognize this guy right now.
Yeah.
You know.
That should be your question right there. Who was the worst one you ever did time for?
Oh boy.
Don't say anything.
And I don't. If I even remembered, I probably wouldn't even repeat it.
Yeah.
But
Just give us an
Damn
instance.
it, I really
Give
want
us
to
an
know
instance,
that
man.
too.
You don't have to say names. Just give us an instance.
I know. I want.
okay, so one comes to mind. He was a lead singer of a pretty popular '90s rock band, and they disbanded, and he went on his own. And I did him at a little club next to Heartland in South Bend. The guy, I mean, I'm literally 20 feet from him. It's not a huge club. Doing sound, and he has his tech over on the side running up to me, telling me what he needs in his monitor. Running back and forth. The guy wouldn't even look me in the eye.
Really?
I'm working my ass off to this guy the whole time. The place is packed with, you know, all the college kids and everything. This guy would never even look me in the eye.
Wow, really?
And at that point, I'm like, you know, what's going on here?
Yeah.
What is wrong with this guy? What did I do wrong? I'm not doing anything wrong. He's rocking. He's having a good time, but he can't communicate with me. And when the show was done, yeah, he never even spoke a word to me or nothing, just walked off, and that was that.
Wow.
It's like, well, that's interesting. I found in rock and roll that you find a lot of interesting situations like that. Yeah. I've worked country where I was working state fairs down south, and I worked with very big artists, the Mark Chestnuts and such back in the day, and very cordial people.
Yeah.
Everybody there was just wonderful people to work with. I had the biggest artists coming up, shaking my hand and thanking me for my hard work.
See, that's what Wild Bill was telling us on Monday.
Oh, Wild Bill!
I went to
I
Wild Bill
love
out.
that guy. I haven't seen him in a minute.
We did. We had him on Monday, and he's saying country people are more humble on their concerts. They'll sign everything. Like I was telling you when we had Luke Bryant down here, he signed everything, and he did the same thing over there. And even like when Garth Brooks put a catheter on his leg and he was signing autographs for 24 hours, pretty much. Country people are more humble than the rock star. Why? They're still the same people. They're still making the same fucking music.
Different roots.
See, this shouldn't matter.
Yep.
Still
It's a
there for
different part of the land, different roots of where you come
Yeah.
from and how you're brought up.
They're
Different
there for the
backgrounds,
entertainment.
definitely. Yeah.
They're there for the entertainment. They're there for making people happy. If you can't sign an autograph, or you're gonna charge for an autograph, or whatever you want to do, why you do it?
Rock and roll people just like abuse, I think.
And they give it out just as much, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Why?
Yeah. That's even another proof that country, like how you listen to country.
And I do now. I listen to country a lot more than I listen to. Yeah.
Country has changed in the last 15 years.
Well,
Definitely. You know,
He's a Taylor Swift fan, so it's okay.
No,
Don't.
no. I'm not. Only I didn't do that because I'm lost. the boss at work. I had to do that. I know he hates it. And I like,
It's okay.
take this.
Just admit it to yourself.
I'm a Swiftie. It's like, no.
Just a minute. It's okay.
No, shut up. No. Shut up. No matter how much you talk about it, I'm not.
I'm gonna.
Yeah, keep whispering into the mic.
It's gonna happen.
No, it's not.
Yes, it will.
Anyway, you'll be shut up. Huh? Stop messing with it. Stop messing with it. You're a weirdo. Anyway.
All right. How about this? With all the gigs that you've done, besides that, which ones? What was your very first concert you ever seen in your life? Though, pay. How young were you on your very first? I did the same thing like that. See, everyone does it. Yeah.
Well, I have to admit that my grandma was a huge Bobby Vinton fan. So my mother, this was her mother, and it was my only grandparent. We used to travel around the tri-state area, up to Wisconsin, wherever, all the theaters that Bobby Vinton played. And one of these things that I hated that my mother made me do, I would get dressed up in different outfits, whatever, and take gifts up to Bobby on stage out of the audience. So I was always on stage with Bobby Vinton back in those days. I got so many pictures in the 70s, and I love looking at them now to see on my side of things, the tech side of things. I'm like, oh, look at those microphones. And
all the different styles. Yeah. I'm going to keep doing this.
But I was so scared. I was always just pushed up there. Here, take these chocolates to Bobby.
Really?
Yeah, it's one of those experiences. Now, of course, I look back and what a wonderful experience.
That is a cool experience.
Scared as heck, but it's the Polish Prince.
Yeah.
I'm kind of curious about that. Were you dressed up in suits?
Yeah, I might have been dressed up as a sailor. I don't know, just different outfits.
Whatever your mom wanted to put you in.
Yes,
Do you have these pictures still?
There's pictures, yes.
Yeah, I'm sure you
There are
don't show
pictures.
Don't show those, Mark. Don't show those at all. Don't show me that. At least don't show me that.
It was part of those horrifying moments I went through growing up that I was forced to do things I didn't want to do.
Right.
Because I just didn't want to be that guy. But here I am.
It made you a better person. Maybe.
Possibly.
So what was your next one after that? What was, besides
concert-wise
that you went to go pay for, that you paid for that and get it for free to work?
Well, I don't know if I ever paid for a concert in my life, but my mom took me to many shows. She was a music lover. Growing up, I was taught organ. We had an organ in the basement, a Hammond organ. Had a church organist from the area, Harry Hahn, that would come by once a week, give me lessons. I did that for like 6 years. And
I didn't know you could play the organ.
well, before that, it was the piano at the Y that used to be across from Czars there.
Yeah.
I went and did piano. I hated every minute of that. I think I got out of that, and that's why I started taking lessons at home. But I didn't like playing in front of people right away. I had to do a recital. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I can't touch the ground. I was so young.
Oh, shit.
So progressing in life, I don't know. My mom was a huge driving force for everything culture-wise for me. She loved Chicago, so we grew up Chicago sports, and I went to the museums on a very regular basis. I saw performances on a regular basis. Something that sticks out in my mind is the LaPorte Civic Center, and I saw the Preservation Hall of Jazz play there probably when I was in 5th grade, and I decided I was going to play the trombone when I got into high school or junior high or whatever the next step.
Yeah.
Did you though?
I did play the trombone.
Trombone?
And I was fairly good at it.
He's played wait a minute. He's played
Piano.
Harp, or not harp,
Harp.
piano.
What you get fucking harp? Piano.
What was the first
Trombone.
one? Trombone. What was the first one? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
And he played
Everybody played a recorder. Come on.
Yeah.
Oh, I had a stupid instrument that I was taught.
yeah, that was the first instrument of all time.
I can't
There's
remember.
only two, you
Oh,
said.
there's three of them. There's
Only two, you said.
drums. Sorry.
But it is drums.
I know.
I hadn't even touched the drum at this point. I wanted to so bad. But the parents were like, no. You know, why don't you play the cornet? That's what your brother played in high school. There's one in the closet.
That was ready.
I was trying to be a drummer. It just wasn't happening for me. So I was introduced to this Preservation Hall of Jazz, and I fell in love with the trombone. I'm like, what a unique instrument that is, and look what you can do with it. And trombone's a difficult instrument. It's you don't just press a button and have something going on. You got to find it on a slide, and you could be sharp, you could be flat. It's all about having an ear and knowing where you're supposed to be. So it's a really great training for your ear as well. I would say.
Never knew that. Wow, Mark.
You know.
So you're musically inclined, definitely, right?
Yeah, I had no choice. So learning how to play the organ, I learned how to play treble clef and bass clef. There was foot pedals, and there was a left hand that was playing bass clef, and trombone was already bass clef. So I learned all that stuff. And
organ, that's the word I said. I said the organ. Yeah.
We should talk about my organ right now.
Yeah.
I was couldn't. Damn, organ. That's what he's.
The organ, yeah. But so trombone, you've mastered that.
I can't say I mastered it. I was a slacker,
really good
for sure. But I played it. I was always second chair. Never wanted to be first chair. Never wanted that challenge. I was like, I'm happy being second here. I'm okay. I could be JP pants, whatever. Right. I'm okay sitting in the second position.
Yeah. Were you good at that?
Sadly, I don't think I'm very good at the keyboards because my left hand is just kind of weak.
Yeah.
And when you play the keyboards, you got to carry the rhythm with your left hand, and I just didn't have it.
Okay.
I guess I enjoyed it. Yes and no, whatever.
But you can't play it.
Absolutely. I mean, that's where I learned all of my music theory was off the keyboard.
Yeah.
So everything I recognize is through the keys. Before I did make it to high school, though, I did get a guitar from the old Uptown Music when we had Mackie working there and
Magatini's. Did you ever go there?
I believe that's where my trombone came from. Skip Bergson sold me my first guitar. I still have it, a Dean Z. And I took lessons from Skip for a year up at Uptown. That was probably about 83, 84, somewhere in there.
Wow. Man, you played a lot of fucking instruments.
Well, I wanted the drums, but they just kept pointing me in different directions. I'm like, okay.
So you're building. This is building up to this.
I was trying so hard. So sometime in junior high, I was in a jazz band playing trombone, and my grandmother bought me my first drum set.
Oh, that's when it all started.
And what a wonderful, magical time it was. Mom plopped me in the old Oldsmobile, and we went for a long drive. It seemed like forever through a magical forest. and I ended up in this place where I went into a house. I didn't know if this was a place I should go into, if it was safe. We went to the basement. I was really scared, but there was a bunch of drum sets down there, and it happened to be a place called Rit Music in Allegan, Michigan. So you drive through the forest, which when you're a kid feels like forever. And I get there and I'm teased with all these different drum sets all set up under their flashy lights and everything. And I found one I liked. And my mom's like, "You like this?" I'm like, "I do." And she turns around and asks me, "Do you have it here?" And he's like, "I do." And I'm like, "Okay." And I could not believe it. It's one of those moments. It's like, wow, look at that. I've only been hammering for this my whole lifetime. It just proves don't give up.
How old are you?
Probably 11, 12.
Dude, he's played more instruments than most people have ever played before 11.
I'm still stuck on a recorder.
Well, as long as you're making the best out of it.
Still stuck on a recorder.
You play Mary Had a Little Lamb?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I'm really good at recorder. Dude, that was really good. I mean, I played some good stuff on that.
Uh,
Music's a
I
wonderful
cross
thing for
lines.
kids growing up, you know? It's just something that you can get creative with.
it is. Music comes from the
You
heart.
know, this is the funny thing. I played violin in kindergarten.
We are a product genius. What are they
No,
called?
no, I was trying to play. I should
Oh,
say to play.
Product genius, prodigy.
yeah, I didn't know what the word was.
I was trying to play the violin,
Oh, you're trying.
but my mom did a violin class, and I was down
In kindergarten?
yeah, I was
Damn, I didn't know what a
Houston, Texas.
was.
Houston, Texas. Started me off early.
I guess she had hope, huh?
I hated it. I hated it.
What did you want to play?
I didn't like playing anything.
The recorder?
Yeah, the recorder, man. I was
Mom, I want to play the recorder.
Yeah,
This is
screw
cool.
This is going to make some money. But no, just a little, I don't know, dabbling in music like that. It was weird for me at an early age. I barely remember. I remember some parts of it.
I was gonna say,
Squattiness.
Yeah, it was weird. I was good at it. I
dude,
know,
you're a kindergarten.
I was-
What do you think? You're gonna play a song?
but no, that's what they taught, man. In Houston, Texas, they had lots of schools and lots of the curriculum was very vast.
Huh.
It was vast. At that point in time, it's like you look those days, they wanted you to take certain classes like music and stuff like that.
Dude, it's kindergarten.
It's the earlier the better to expose you to it.
That's when your brain is
That's
most,
why I'm more shocked. It's kindergarten.
but that's when your brain is most absorbed.
Absolutely.
At a 5-year-old pace.
Oh, damn. I got screwed about being in St. Joe. Here's a letter A. I want to play the violin.
No, that's when your
I want
brain
a color.
absorbs more knowledge.
I want a color. Give me my crayon. This kid's eating glue.
This is when you teach your kids different languages. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
America's far behind. There's other
Yeah.
countries that are multi-language in
Yeah.
school and growing up, and
Yeah.
we don't learn anything.
No, and that's the most influential time to teach a kid to do something is like a 5-year-old. The 5-year-old.
What you got going on over there?
Shannon says she learned how to play the violin at 4.
See,
Fourth grade.
And she's still playing.
I don't know if she hasn't said.
That's wonderful.
see, but that right there shows you the child's mind is very absorbent at that time.
I guess I just was into sports more, I guess.
You play sports.
Fuck yeah.
The mind is absorbent, but the attention span is not.
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's not.
It's a challenge.
Yeah.
It's not. And then you have to constantly put kids through this. I don't know. This torture of training and stuff like that at an early age.
There's something I just learned from you.
What?
You know how to play the violin at kindergarten.
I tried.
Yeah.
I didn't
That
master.
didn't last. Huh?
Didn't last.
I'm more shocked on that one. That's kind of cool.
It was weird for me, man. I'll tell you that much.
Wow. Interesting.
I wish I would learn some different languages.
Absolutely.
Because I was in Houston, and there's a lot of Spanish going on.
No, I believe that.
I can't believe you didn't pick something up along the
I
way.
didn't.
You can't say anything?
Here's the thing. I broke my arm when I was like at that age, right? I remember going to the hospital and I'm hearing all the Spanish languages going on as I'm in pain. And I hear nothing but Mexicans just talk.
But you're in pain.
I'm in pain. And the doctor trying to pull my arm off. I told him don't pull my arm off. Please don't pull my arm off. I was 5 years old when this happened.
Wow.
Yeah.
When
So-
did you move up here?
I was born
I know that. When did you come back here?
7. My mom and dad didn't get along.
I just learned something new about James.
My mom and dad didn't
Episode 65. Mark it down.
Yeah.
Shit. I guess it's
Mark it down.
I booked him in May.
But that right there is, I don't know. Kids learn at an early age, better at an early age.
Yeah, I understand that part. I do. So,
Mine's are more, I don't know,
all right,
influential.
let's get back to our guest.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you. So, enough with the instrument part of it. I'm still intrigued about.
No, I'm still talking about the instruments.
Go ahead. So you're at 11. So did you learn how to play something at 12?
No. You learn how to play the drums.
I know.
That's where we get that.
Well, okay, so I got my first drum set. I'm playing trombone in band. The teacher at the junior high there learned that I had a guitar and was playing guitar and wanted me to play guitar in the band. I'm like, no, I have a drum set. I want to play drums. That didn't work out for me.
Hey, Sam, I still got this drum set. I still can't play it. Son of a bitch.
I tell you what, I got the drums, at whatever, 11, 12, 13, somewhere in there. I probably didn't learn how to play those things until I was well into my 20s. I beat on them, sure, but and I'm still learning how to play for sure. That's just an ongoing task always.
Oh, I believe that. I mean, you always got to.
Well into your 20s, and you're another 19 years.
I went a very big part of my high school career was football, and I walked away from music altogether after junior high.
Okay.
And I didn't actually start playing drums in a band until after I was out of high school.
Oh, you didn't play in high school? You didn't do it? Start a
No, he was
garage
playing
band?
football.
You didn't start a garage band?
He was being a band.
I did not. My first band was in St. Joe. Boy, I can't remember what year that was.
What's the name of the band?
Don't remember that either.
Oh, shit.
I believe I did a couple of house parties, and then I was fired.
Mark is shitty on those drums.
No, that's me just playing guitar. Probably.
Oh, that's all.
This is how much they taught me how to play. I get to play the drums yet.
So in, I believe it was Kelly, you'll have to remind me, but 93, 94, I met Kelly Klein, is who I play with today.
Oh, Kelly.
Wow, you've been with him that long?
Yes, we're an old married couple for sure.
Kelly.
So yeah, we formed a band back then that became popular because of our name and culture, and we probably weren't very good at all. I'm sure we weren't, but we had original music, and we were frequent on John Jay's Homegrown show over there at WRX back in the day. And
John Jay.
You remember?
We were just talking about it yesterday.
Damn, there's people that's bringing his name up left and right.
Yeah, it needs to be. That must be a sign. We need to get him on the show.
I guess I got to call him.
good dude.
Yeah, he is good. Good guy.
What was that band? That band?
That band was called Cottonmouth.
Yes, I like it. I like it already. Mark, I like it.
So Cottonmouth was an experiment, a life journey.
Yes, sir.
It was very odd. Young Mark playing drums with long hair was a Metallica fan, and Kelly Kleinis with long hair was a Grateful Dead fan, and somehow we met up and decided to create music, and we added a fellow named Matt Lurch.
Matt Lurch. Matt. Shout out to Matt Lurch. He's one of my coolest friends, man.
Wow, you got really excited.
No, seriously.
Lurch was a broadcaster for a long time up in Lansing.
Yeah.
I like how you just wow.
Yeah, Mojo.
Yes,
Yeah.
Mojo in the morning up there.
Yeah.
So Matt Lurch was our lead singer, and he was a very passionate fellow who wrote some very passionate lyrics about the times, and we had very good original music that reflected the times that we were going through.
Yeah.
Right around the times that Cobain checked out.
Yeah.
And everything that was going on in those early 90s.
Early 90s. Yep. That's exactly when I met him in 91.
Yeah.
Interesting.
92. No, 92. That's when I met him.
Yeah, Matt Lurch. Shout out, Matt.
Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers to Matt. Yeah.
Cheers.
I'll drink water now.
So that band had a lot of fun,
Yeah.
and it went through many transformations, eventually losing Matt Lurch and many other players, but Kelly and I stayed thick and through it all.
4-piece band or 5-piece band?
Well, maybe 6. I don't know.
Did you ever play anywhere Any clubs or
Our main place to play was Mickey's.
Mickey's? Oh wow, Max. Shout out to Mickey's.
Yeah, Mickey's was our thing. Back then, we played with the Effect Band
Oh damn. Really?
and Scavenger
You played with Effect?
for sure.
Before before he passed away?
Effect Band.
Yeah.
That had Kip on vocals and Greg Miller on the
One
drums.
person passed away and then the band just kind of fizzled. Can't think of who passed away.
We've had many losses
Yeah.
in our community there,
I know,
and it's hard to really
I know.
attach.
Actually, my family knew the all the people in Effect, so I just can't remember. That's the only reason I remembered it.
Well, Effect Band was huge for us, huge for me. Greg Miller, great drummer, loves Zeppelin. He just tears it up. He kind of took me under his wing back then and helped me out a little bit. And
Nice.
we were getting our start. We played some parties with him. We started playing over at Mickey's with them. And we did some New Year's.
They're a
It was
jam
a lot of
band.
fun.
Yeah, they're a jam band.
They were kind of
Yeah.
a jam rock and roll, that 70s vibe.
Yeah.
And it was very cool for me
Grateful
being
Dead.
so young and that different generation of music. It was a lot of fun.
I still like their emblem was an A with like almost looked like the Dark Side of the Moon type.
Absolutely.
So yeah,
They were
Yeah, I
all
knew-
about
I know
the
the
Pink
band.
Floyd and the Grateful Dead.
yeah, I know the band very well. I'm thinking, yeah, I've even pictured it right now.
So yeah,
I have a shirt still says Effect.
nice.
I do.
You got to bust that out.
I don't know if it fit me.
That's a medium.
Yeah, but it's probably medium.
Yeah, the midriff isn't sexy right now.
Yeah, probably.
Belly button hanging out.
I'll be like a football player. It goes up to here. Yeah. I said, yeah, wow.
Gotta hold your top on.
Yeah, pretty much.
So we cut some of our own pathway with the Effect Band, and then there was a band named Scavenger, a progressive rock band in the area that was playing a lot of original music, and for some reason we got along, and we're kind of that Grateful Dead kind of band, and we're playing with these guys. So that was kind of interesting as well. We did some gigs around Southwest Michigan, Northern Indiana, and just different. All experiences.
And here's one question: is there any bands that you didn't get along with?
All the rest.
You just said you got along with this band, and we got along with this band.
Well, everybody has their riffs with people here and there. I can't remember any one particular one because there's probably so many. So
right,
he's not going to answer it.
yeah, that's where you get
That's
around.
good. That's why you get away on that question.
I like
Wow.
it. Wait, it's like,
Yeah.
go around.
Instead of answering it, he didn't. He just went, "Oh yeah, he did a politician move. Yeah, let's just do this and all that." How about this question then? Because I honestly think this is how it is. If you're not getting paid in arenas, you should just play covered music. You should not play original shit. Around here in these local bars, no one knows who you are until you make it bigger than anything. Because you can't say people are going to come out and see you who you are in your band right now to go see you guys if you play nothing but originals. I mean, your own shit. Yeah, original.
at one point, I loved original music.
I know you did. I had this.
But there's a certain point where I just feel like I'm just wanting to entertain people, and my creativity isn't right there for original music. I'm not ready to talk. It'll come out someday.
Yeah,
I'm just not there yet. I'm building up, ready to pop. I tell you what, when I do.
Hey, actually, Wild Bill came on yesterday, and he said he has a book full of songs that he wrote that he just needs a band to sing for him. Would you want to try it?
Oh, Wild Bill. I'd do anything for Wild Bill. He's a good guy.
yeah. He has what?
He has a whole notebook.
Whole
Whole notebook full of songs.
40 to 50 songs.
Full songs that he said they can go through it. And all they need is to put words, music to the words.
Yeah.
He's got all lyrics.
Yep, all lyrics. No music, just all lyrics.
Wow.
Yeah. He said it. He said if we find somebody that would love to do it, he said, "I'll just give it to him." And
You know, thinking back of our creative process with Cottonmouth, that's kind of the way it worked with Matt Lurch. He had a bunch of poetry, and he was a huge lover of Pearl Jam and Jim Morrison. So those two styles collided in the way we wrote the music to his poetry.
That's kind of cool, though. I mean, that's how music should be, and how music, like he was saying, music.
Trying to
So
get
now
Matt
these
Lewis
days,
on the podcast.
now these days, music
Trip comes back
sucks.
to town.
Music sucks, doesn't it?
Trip comes back to town, man. What's that?
As a music sucks now, doesn't it?
It does. It does. I mean,
It has changed. I mean,
It's a different process than it
even
used
like
to
you
be.
said, Metallica and all that. That's changed. All the heavy metal music and all
So
that.
is it not original enough for you, or
It's original. I mean, it's just like
has no depth?
it has no meaning behind it. They're just playing. They're just playing and having words behind it. They're not. There's no meaning and feeling behind any of their music.
Maybe it's not in writing. Could that be right? I mean,
I don't-
the problem behind
We'll have them on the next couple of months.
no, I'm saying it could have not been the reason behind the whole thing is that they're not writing their own music. Somebody else is writing their music, and this is going to be a hit. They're writing their hits for them. Is there a
There's plenty of huge artists out there that don't write their music.
exactly?
That is for
There's a lot
sure.
of creativity from the artists.
There's more people out there writing music now for other people, and
Yeah, they call them ghostwriters.
yeah, pretty much.
So is there a lack of creativity from the artists that can actually sing, but can't write their own music?
I think they're killing it with the music they're picking because they're still winning money. They're still getting big arenas. They're
Yeah,
still,
I think they're too busy performing to worry about the writing.
Right.
They're out there touring so much. You know, sometimes that creativity doesn't come out as quick as it needs to. You need a spark under there.
Do you think it's more showman now than pretty much music because they want the background to be just like this and have props and fireworks and everything else that's going on behind them?
What do you like to see?
I'd rather see the music play.
That's the question. Right
I
now.
rather see-
And it's just what does the audience want?
I mean, you're coming.
I see everything, you know.
Yeah.
I like it when it's all intertwined.
I'm a jam band guy, so you're asking the wrong person on that one. I'm a Grateful Dead. I'm Pink Floyd. I'm older on that music where I will still go see like the Temptations and everything else like that. Where
Love it all.
where they're performing.
Oh
The
yeah,
music now
absolutely.
and in past the '90s, to me, is not really. It started
Music
going
has
downhill.
progressed with technology.
after
I would
in
definitely
the 2000s.
disagree
After
with
in the
that.
2000s, it went downhill.
I was going to say the 90s.
No, after
90s were great.
after the 90s, after
90s
the
were
90s,
great.
so through 2000, it went downhill.
90s music was great. It was great. We had the downfalls, but we had
Every
a lot-
decade has a certain genre that flourishes.
Yeah,
correct.
That is
Yeah.
true.
And the '90s definitely have a lot of things going on
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't just the grunge and the rock and roll. There was the progression of R&B and rap and
Yeah.
everything coming out.
And rap used to be so different. It used to have a meaning behind it.
I still love rap though.
I mean, no, seriously, it used to have a good meaning behind it. Man.
Yeah.
And then all the conscious rap that came out was like swept under the rug. You know,
I think it sucks now.
the stuff that laid a positive track for young Black Americans to abide by. It was seriously
No, I know what you're
to
saying.
abide by it.
I do.
And it totally went to gangster rap.
It went through its different stages,
Yes.
and what soul got pushed out there, right?
That's exactly what it was. What soul got pushed out there, and people want to hear about hoes, bitches,
Anything with conflict is going to sell.
Sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Exactly. And that's what it boils down to.
Sex sells. Always does. Always will.
Sex,
Murder.
violence.
Sad. It's not like how Grandmaster Flash protected or the old school.
Oh, like KRS-One or like a Eric B. and Rakim, which never cursed in any of his rap. He was a great lyricist. Great lyricist.
Yeah.
But just never had a cursing in
You're
it.
talking about cursing. I think back to that gig with because I got high guy.
Yeah.
And
Afro Man.
yes, Afro Man. I don't remember that for a minute, but
he was small after that.
he had a DJ behind him. They call him Sir Mix. He was with a band called Two Live Crew.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really?
And that was the DJ behind.
Really?
What?
Yeah, so I got to meet that guy, and his whole big deal was he used to mix, analog mixer and going with the fader, and he used to use his member to do that. That was his whole big deal. At that point, I don't think he could see it because his belly was so big. But
he was thinner. Now I became a fat boy.
He was thinner back in the 90s.
Yeah.
80s and 90s.
Instead of being Two Live Crew, he became one
but
of the
Two
fat
Live
boys.
Crew really blazed the trail when it came to explicit language.
Yes, for all.
The government got involved, and they
still got the
it was
tape.
all about censoring and everything, and they were fighting it and
Yeah.
fighting and fighting.
And they won. They won.
There, for as sad as the music is, it was a trailblazer, and it pushed us.
Fought for everyone.
It did.
And then not just for rap. It just did.
It opened up more freedom.
Yeah, exactly.
The funny thing is, I still have their tape.
Do you really?
Yeah.
You say tape?
Yeah, it's tape.
You don't have a CD for that?
No, tape. I have the tape still because I was in middle school when it came out.
Really?
Yeah. When Two Live
No bullshit.
Yeah, I was in middle school. I think.
Oh, you were elementary because you're younger than I am, and I was probably in middle school when it came out.
I could be elementary. I don't know.
You had to be were you 45?
Yeah.
52. Yeah, you were in elementary.
You
were listening to that in elementary?
Yeah.
Who's allowing you to do that?
You're talking to my parents that are pretty much stoners and grew up and had me so young that they are only 17 years apart from me. Have one of my parents. So
my mom's 18 years old.
Yeah. So yeah, don't give me that. We're raising each other. We raised each other on that one. They didn't care what they bought me. They didn't care what I was listening to.
Apparently so. Yeah. Listen to Two Live Crew.
Hell yeah.
It's great.
I love it. You're
pretty racy stuff back
then,
for sure.
It was. It was ahead of its time at that point.
Absolutely.
And I remember hearing that. I was like, wow. I want that. I want that tape.
Yeah, and you had NWA busting out back then, and
NWA,
you had a lot of things going on for sure.
And it was
84.
Was it 84?
Yeah, when they came live.
Yeah, dude, you were barely in school.
Yeah, 84.
You listened to that?
Yeah.
Preschool listening to it.
Dude, I was 11 years old.
89, actually. 89 when they made
11 years old.
No, 89 when they made Me So Horny, though.
So Two Live Crew came out in 84.
They came out in 84, but the songs that were hits.
Well, if you think back to Doublewood.
Yeah.
Hoochie Mama was in 1995. So
I'm talking about, hey, we want some.
86.
Yeah. So I was 13.
Yeah.
I was 13.
I was 6.
When it came out.
Yeah. When it came
yeah,
out.
you were listening to that?
Yeah.
You motherfucker.
I still have the tape. I'll bring it in. I'll try to find it on Monday. I still have it.
Wait. You bought the tape?
Yeah.
And back then?
Yeah.
And you still have it?
From Hilltop. Yeah.
You mean from Radio Shack in Hilltop?
Yeah, actually, yes.
Somebody else bought you that tape.
That's why you knew that.
My first 45 came from that Radio Shack. It was the Little River Band.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I still have that. I got it from there. Or I got it from the
somebody bought that for you.
No.
Bullshit. You didn't
buy
it.
It seems like you needed an ID back then.
You didn't buy that shit.
Well, my parents were with me, but I picked it out.
They bought it for you. I knew it.
No, they picked. I came up there. I said, "I want this." They said, "Okay, let's go." And they bought it. Yeah, I still have it.
This is cheers to Joe's parents.
Cheers.
They love music. I mean, like I said on Wild Bill's show, the funny thing is for them, they're the same parents. My mom is the same mom that made me listen to Howard Stern back in the day when I was growing up, to then going on Sundays to listen to Breakfast with the Beatles, and then listen to Aerosmith and
which is
everything else.
not even close to being as bad as Blue Life
No, they didn't really care. They loved all music.
at all.
They loved all music.
Rewind 20 years earlier,
and
it probably was.
We call it Amtrak, some call it a train.
And maybe
What the hell are you listening to?
Oh, I just popped it in my headphone and walked in, and I walked out.
That's 6 years old. What?
Walk.
Oh man.
There's a trade word, Walkman.
All right, guys. We at the top of the hour. 1 hour into the episode, guys. We have our guest Marc Van Gilder in the house.
Cheers.
Yes. All right, guys. If you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, please hit like, especially on YouTube. Like, subscribe, because we're almost at the mark. But where were you at?
We were at 96 or 97.
197? Yeah. Almost at 200, guys. Please.
A milestone. Come on.
Milestone. We're trying to hit that milestone.
Let's get a mark for Mark.
Yes,
Cheers.
yes. All right, guys. Getting back into the show. This is Third Eye Freedom Podcast, episode 56. Marc Van Gilder is in the house.
Hey, you nailed it.
Yeah, I did it 3 times. 3 times.
It's almost not like he almost messed up that time.
The air horn, baby. We get an extra. Yeah, there we go. All right, guys. We're back into the episode. Let's keep going.
Oh, there it is.
Don't worry about it. You know where we're at.
No, I can see the comments.
Oh.
I got out of it when I was looking at it. So, going fast forward a little bit, you're in a band now. What is your band called now?
I play in a band called High Viz.
How'd you get that?
High Viz comes from my guitar player, Kelly Colitis, who works in the construction industry. And he's all about the high visibility clothing. So he came up with the concept for High Viz.
That's not what I thought you were going to go with it. I mean, what actually, go back a little bit. You were in Cottonmouth. What was the other band's names that you led up to?
So Cottonmouth turned into Will Harvest.
That's right.
So Will Harvest carried us through, let's see, Cottonmouth started back in 93, 94, and Will Harvest probably transitioned in about 02, carried us up to about, oh boy, there was a few different versions.
Yeah.
And in the late 2000s, when I was working at Czars, Will Harvest was resparked with a new group. Still had Kelly on guitar, and we played through probably 2013.
Nice.
And then I had a neck injury that I was practically paralyzed. And I didn't talk about that much back then. And spinal cord injury that really just left me on the sidelines. I had to step away from everything for a minute.
You didn't think you were going to play it after that, did you?
I didn't think I was going to walk.
Yeah.
Playing was far from my thought process. It was just a whole different battle that was occurring.
I remember that. Hey, look at you now, though. Look at you now.
I am grateful that I wake up every day.
Yeah.
There's no doubt.
That was rough.
But the body's an amazing thing, and it does heal. I'm definitely not back to where I was, but you keep getting older, and it is what it is.
Yeah.
You know, I'm very thankful that I play drums. After I went through my injury, I was literally on a cane and I could barely walk. Went through many stages of rehabilitation just through time. There wasn't anything really to fix my problem. I had a spinal cord that was severely damaged, and I just started getting back up again. I was very fortunate through my medical journey there. It was in South Bend that my primary care physician was the president of the South Bend Clinic. He was a musician that I actually had worked with in a band called Niagara Falls, which was a bunch of different doctors playing in the band. Uh, and then when it all came full circle, the drummer was the neurosurgeon that did the surgery on me.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah. So being in my business as a sound engineer and whatnot, I don't think anything can match that story.
Oh, yeah.
I have a band that had two members stick their hands in me where they shouldn't be.
That was
Oh.
from what kind of accident was that? Was it?
I'm not sure. We rewind back to Afro Man. When I was on break for Afro Man, I went to get pizza locally in South Bend, and driving my Mustang back to my house, I got rear-ended by a drunk driver that threw me into a telephone pole.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And it totaled out the Mustang, and my girlfriend at the time, she was injured pretty bad with her back and everything, and I took her to the hospital, and I was more worried about my gig than anything, and making sure she was comfortable. I never worried about myself. I went and did my gig. Years later, 2013, I'm doing a gig in Pennsylvania, a fireworks gig, and I have a loadout after a 12-hour day. I'm thinking I probably tweaked it out, and that was that.
Wow.
Wow.
So a couple months later, I wake up and my feet are numb, and things are progressing. I have a doctor. I don't know what's going on. I'm kind of scared. I'm not sure what's going on here. And it took a couple months of both trying to find a doctor, which finding Jesse Say down in South Bend was amazing because he was not only a spiritual guide for me to help me through these tough times. He was also a musician, and I ended up playing a band with him and Scotty Ryan from the band Blammo. And he got me back into playing music again, which was part of my rehabilitation.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And it was a great journey to come back.
Still music is awesome.
Yeah, I was making on bongo drums. What are you gonna do?
No, but still music that's involved.
Right.
With.
It was a lot of fun. We did some very nice gigs down in the South Bend, Mishawaka area, and it was just a lot of fun.
See, I knew it was some kind of accident. I thought it was a bike accident.
Nope, I've never actually wiped out on a motorcycle, even though I probably should have.
That's not what you were saying.
Totally good talk, too.
So no, the first milestone of my career, I get into an accident that I think probably led to my eventual rehabilitation and whatnot. So yeah, I don't know if that's a full circle moment or not, but we're foaming up with the high life here.
Yeah. No, they've been sitting right here. The same thing happened to me, so don't feel bad. Got over my legs too. It's all right. He blames me. I just buy this shit.
And to all your younger subscribers out there, it still happens at this age, so don't worry about it.
I even said careful. First one didn't open like that, did it?
No, I didn't.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
They've been sitting right
It's
there.
pretty cool.
That's what I said. I was kind of pissed.
Don't look pissed.
I rubbed it in the carpet.
I'm sure you did. All right.
So after all that, then fast forward now, you have high vis. How's that going for you? I mean, you booming it up around here, or
it's a good experience to play with Kelly Kalinas, who I've been friends with for so long, and it's an old marriage that we've bickered along the way, and we're at a place right now where we get along so well and have so much fun.
he's killing. He's still great.
He is one of those uncovered gems of Southwest Michigan that nobody knows about.
Has he always played guitar?
He's always played guitar.
Okay.
He's really good at it.
He is.
He's really good at it.
He tears it up. He has no fear. He goes into the unknown, and I love him for it.
But he's always been a Grateful Dead fan, huh?
When I met him, that's what he was. Yes, just him and his acoustic and plenty of head over there for James.
See, it isn't a snow cone.
It is. It's a beer cone.
That's hilarious. I can't stop.
Let it settle.
To the end of the show.
We've got plenty of time left before it settles.
So, who's the other band members you have? Is it a 3-piece band or 4-piece band?
We are a 3-piece, a power trio.
Let the fans out there know. Power trio.
A power trio. Yes, we have one guitar player, one bass player, and one drummer,
Who's
and
the singer?
one singer who happens to sit behind the drums.
Ah, that's this man right here.
Yes.
Oh, it's the Phil Collins of.
Yeah, I don't think I'm Phil Collins by any means, but yeah.
Right.
What I do appreciate about my role, though,
Yeah.
is it's a dying art. I don't see a lot of singing drummers out there anymore.
No.
There's a lot of talented drummers, far past my talent level for sure out there, and I'm sure they can sing, but people stick to what they know best, and they do what they know best. I just throw it all to the wind, and I just want to be a performer.
Now, how do you do that? I mean, as far as be able to keep up with the
Boy, everybody
Oh,
asks me that, and
that's
I
a good
can't
question.
answer that.
Why not?
and sing at the same
I
time.
cannot answer that.
Multitasking.
I cannot answer that.
Can you pat your head and rub your belly?
I believe I
drumming
can.
and then singing at the same time and remember all those songs and all the
That's why they have laptops and a tablet now.
We do have visual aids.
Yeah, they have
but still.
all bands and singers. Have
Now you're
visual aids.
reading. Now you're reading and drumming.
He says, now you're reading and drumming.
And plus, I do
singing.
sound for the band, so I'm over there tweaking things. I do multitask. There's no doubt.
Yeah, I know you do. I watch it.
I don't know. It's just whatever you learn growing up.
James, give me a drink.
And I throw that out once in a while too.
I need
You
a
do a
martini.
fabulous job. I appreciate it.
I need a martini. I need a martini.
No, he doesn't go martini.
Yeah, he does.
No.
His first one's always a martini.
Got to break in those vocal cords.
Yeah.
That's how I warm up.
Yeah. First one's a martini, then he goes after that.
Goes beer and then goes like, hey, on the rocks.
Been trying to stay away from
Yeah,
that.
on the rocks.
It's been a fun journey in music, I'd have to say. All I ever wanted to do growing up, going through playing the piano, the organ, the guitar, the trombone, I just wanted to play the drums. I ended up on the drums. Wonderful. I ended up in a band with a singer. And then I didn't have a singer. Then I had a singer. Then I didn't have a singer. This continued through the Cottonmouth years of having multiple singers, which Marc Van Patten was one of back in the late '90s. I believe he did a New Year's gig. Good times back then. I think I got a 4-track still, brother. We need to mix down.
Get it, Mark.
We kept going through singers, and I didn't sing much back then. Now, I was in an acting choral group. I did sing at Wrigley Field, the Star Spangled Banner with the group back in 1984.
What?
Those were good times. I'm a huge Chicago Cubs fan.
I'm doing the Larry. God help us. Oh, I knew it was coming.
Cubs fan? You saying you really turn that off.
So once again, going back to my brother, we were huge in Chicago. I didn't even know Detroit existed. I grew up here in Southwest Michigan, where you can see Chicago on a clear day.
Yeah.
You go down to many times through school trips or Boy Scouts. We went down to the Cook plant for observation. You could really see everything. It was like right in front of you. It was like amazing.
Forgot about that days.
I grew up everything Chicago sports, and Chicago Cubs was our team. And I was with an acting choral group out of Southwest Michigan it was, I believe, 10 or 15 of us who sang the national anthem out on the pitcher's mound on Wrigley Field in 84 or 85, I can't recall.
How old are you?
I'm 51.
Oh.
January 9th.
That's right, brother.
You didn't know that, did you?
That's right.
My brother doesn't know it, but I do now. Never in my mind.
So I was privileged to be on Wrigley Field, and there's a video out there I need to retain. Harry Carey and Steve Stone were in Terrace Reserve, so they're out of the booth.
Yeah.
announcing, and I remember meeting both of them. We all got to go
hell
up
yeah.
and meet them, and Steve Stone, super nice, great guy hands. Harry Carey, get away from me, guy. You're bothering me, you know. He wasn't drunk yet. He's like, just get away from me.
You're bothering me, kid.
I'm Harry Carey. Yeah.
But yeah, good times, good memories for sure.
See, you just perked him up a little bit. You know, he's all geeked. You got to be on Wrigley Field.
That's amazing.
See, like,
young age.
Well, beyond doing that,
you did that.
there was a lot of instructional stuff that was at Wrigley Field that my mom got me signed up for. So I was a baseball player doing Little League, and so I went to Wrigley Field and got coached by the players and the coaches over
that's
there.
cool.
You know, so that was a lot of fun too.
Yeah.
What about you? Did you get a degree on?
I did. I was with Benton Harbor.
Were you on Wrigley Field ever?
No, not on the field. No.
Yeah.
But I did throw a baseball back.
Did you make it all the way down?
Dude, I threw a baseball back on the field.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Did you make it back
Other
on
two.
the field? Did you make it back on the field?
No, I didn't get on the field.
No, I meant, did you throw the ball on the field?
Yeah, I'm strong enough to do that.
Oh, wait, that was a couple of years ago?
Well, not a couple years ago.
Were you young?
Yeah, I was a strapping young buck. Yes. Any other questions? Did you get her on the field?
Well, how high were your seats?
No,
It was not like
I throw her 50s, jackass.
So are we all Cubs fans here? Are we all friends? Or
He's
he's a Detroit fan.
Yeah.
no,
probably.
I'm a Yankees fan.
A what?
I'm a Yankees fan. You remember we had the story.
Yeah, we did have this talk.
We had the story. We had the story.
Yeah.
I'll tell
Yeah.
you though. My family was from Brooklyn, New York. When they were Dodgers fans, when the Dodgers fucking moved to
Old school.
LA,
Yes.
and then the Yankees built on the same grounds as the Dodgers were. They still there. My family's still there. So I've been since I'm an Irish because of my grandfather was Irish since I was 5, and I was just converted into all this Bears, Notre Dame, Yankees. So
I got a little bit of Yankee love over here for Rizzo. So
yeah.
Just that. That's it.
So at least you guys still love when someone leaves and you still follow.
Yeah, I still
I give you guys
follow
credit.
just-
I follow players for sure.
Yeah.
And being a Notre Dame fan and not really a football fan, but just a Notre Dame fan.
Yeah.
I follow plenty of players that go different areas, and that brings me a little bit of the Detroit Lions. They have the Notre Dame players over there, and
So you must really love when Smarchek went.
Smart.
Jeff, yeah,
Yeah, and he didn't he play for
The Cubs.
Yeah, he
so
did,
You must
yes.
really love that.
yeah, he did a very good job for his time. there,
First
for
time
sure.
there, yeah. He definitely did.
Yeah, you don't hear much about him anymore though.
Oh, he should have played football.
No.
He should play wide receiver.
Longevity in baseball.
Yeah, as a pitcher,
He
yeah.
should have played both, honestly.
No, you can't do that anymore, man.
Like
It's
Deion
too busy. The seasons are
Yeah,
all.
dude. Prime time.
That's when the season works.
Everything's different now. Everything crosses over.
Yeah,
It's always gonna cross over.
Just-
Prime time did it. Bo Jackson
baseball,
did it.
basketball, football, hockey, all year round now. Think
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah, I know.
As far if you have a TV network that follows that sport all the time, it's year round.
Yep.
You're busy all the time.
Yeah.
You have no downtime.
You don't think? Do you think that like Bo Jackson, Prime Time, and all the other players that play both think they can do it now?
No, there's no possible way. No possible way. It's too busy now. It's too much of a business for both. All the major sports.
Time is money.
Time is money.
Yeah.
So you have to focus on one thing and one thing only. So if you're full baseball, if you're baseball, you're baseball. Football, you're football. Blah blah blah.
All I noticed was baseball players don't go like I would say like Zach Martin, great example. Played, I think I was right. He played 20 years. You don't see a lot of baseball players last 20 years in the same position.
I didn't know you
No, you don't. You don't see it at all. It's sad. I mean,
I didn't more you
I wish
it goes
baseball players. What's the
football.
longest-
You see maybe a handful of people that can still do that.
but that's the center. But do you see?
Basketball is only a handful of players that actually played to their 40s. You had Kareem, you had Jordan, you had Kobe, and you got LeBron.
That's it. Just LeBron.
Well, I'm sure there's
Oh.
other players that played to their
Carl
age.
Malone.
Karl Malone is up there.
Yeah, he's up there. He was.
Who
I think he was
else?
43 when he finished.
Who else? There's a
Oh,
few other players that played well into their 40s.
get this. I
About
know-
Steve Kerr.
Steve Kerr? No,
You don't think he was up there?
he was in the mid 30s, maybe mid 30s.
I think 38.
No, mid 30s,
Mid-30. I'll get you this.
35.
This man didn't even on Notre Dame field doing shit.
Oh man, I want that job.
Yeah, he was even on the field doing shit all the time.
Good times on there.
Yes,
No, I imagine. Imagine.
I mean,
So you're in
Many
the right-
games, many
You're in
coaches.
the right profession to do that. As far as
Right place, right time again.
exactly.
Yeah.
You said that in the beginning.
Yep.
Um,
does
but,
Josh still do that?
Josh is still there, yes.
Josh is still there.
Yes.
Jesus, that's awesome.
so you get to see the games and things of that nature
Right up there.
on the sideline.
By the student section.
At that time, we were right on the field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you're on the student section.
Now everything's changed. Everything's pushed up into the bleacher or
Well,
stand.
First
So,
row.
get these guys out of here.
But back then, we're right there. I mean, we're right there.
Yeah.
And what a blast.
I can imagine, dude.
Uh,
This is a really good.
so that started in 2004.
We
And,
went through the
and
Bush era.
and you just think about all the different coaches we went through.
Yeah.
And the great players. Yeah, just great times. Lots of good memories there.
I'm the same with you. Big Irish fan, big Chicago fan of all Chicago sports.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. With me, when I first started watching all these sports, like Chicago and Notre Dame, I was young, and this is the only way I could watch it, the black and white TV with the
Yeah. Got the bunny
heads
ears out.
Tinfoil.
Tinfoil on the top. That's the only way we could watch it. Me and my brothers watched.
James, get up right here. I need you to hold it a little higher.
Don't move.
Me and my brothers watched the games. It was a great time in sports. It was a
Absolutely.
beautiful time in sports. I don't know. I remember watching the Bears win the Super Bowl in '85.
Huge Bears fan in '85. That's all I know.
I remember watching the Super Bowl Shuffle.
Yeah. Huge.
That was a great time in my life, man. It was a great time. And now we were all doing the Super Bowl Shuffle.
Yeah, people still are to this day.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fun going to a Bears game now
But
and still seeing them dressed as the '85
Yes.
Bears.
yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
hilarious. I laugh because I just picture all these people still dressed like Mike Ditka and still do everything else like Mike
Ditka.
Ditka is doing. And the funny thing is, he hasn't been coaching since the '80s, and it's hilarious.
No, he coached in the '90s.
I think he was
New Orleans.
Yes. He went to
but
the Saints for a little bit.
I
Yeah.
meant just for the Bears, though.
No.
Just for the Bears.
I was privileged to go to a football camp before I went to my junior high year, I believe, or was it between? Maybe it was my high school years. It was in Chicago, and I got to work with Bears coaches and players. I met Steve Fuller, Doug Flutie. I did a quarterback camp with them, and
What were you?
I played tight end. Even though I was too short and they wanted me to just be a lineman, I just kept pushing for the tight end position because I was under 6 foot. I wasn't useful that way, but I still could catch a ball, so it all worked out.
Yeah. Do you miss playing?
It was a lot of fun. Right now, no. I'm 51.
Those limbs are what they used to be. I tell you that much.
Especially with the accident and everything. All the bets are really not.
No,
I miss being able to get up in the morning when I was saying, ugh, you know?
yeah.
Body cracking. Crack.
Oh man, I get that all the time.
No, I'm very grateful to be able to play the drums and to be able to sing like you guys ask. I have no idea how I do it. It happens. It's something I can do.
Just do it.
And it brings much joy to me that I can pass that along to people that enjoy it. You know,
Right.
Especially we have one fan that always comes sees you now because he went down there. Paul and Buffy. They love
Oh
you.
yeah, absolutely.
They
Those
love
guys
you.
are great.
Yeah, they love you
Appreciate
guys.
you guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they love you guys. And they'll be out Saturday watching you play right in that first table right there. He's gonna love it.
I look forward to Saturday at the Sandbar for sure.
Yeah.
Haven't been at the Sandbar for a minute, and
It's been a while.
so it should be a really good time.
I mean, I look forward to your band. I do like watching you play. It is. I do make fun of you because I only call you the Phil Collins, but it's awesome. You don't, like you said, you don't see that very often as someone singing the song and drumming like you were saying. How do you do it? You just do it because you're so used to it. You don't know how you do it. You just
I was kind of forced to do it over time of losing lead singers so much and having to pick up the slack, and it just I kept building and
fuck it.
building
I'm
and
doing it
building,
myself.
and eventually it was just like let's just forget having to find a lead singer anymore.
Does Kelly,
Eliminate the middleman.
does Kelly ever sing?
Kelly does sing,
He does?
Yeah, he does. He
James says he does.
no, Kelly does sing.
Yeah.
He's just so into his guitar, and
Definitely.
he's been so concentrating on that instrument and tearing it up. And I love him so
What
much
does
for
he
that.
sing? I'm curious. What does he sing?
It's Joe. Joe?
What?
What do you
does
mean
he
he's
sing?
singing?
I mean, what songs does he sing?
Back in the day, I guess it would be a bunch of Grateful Dead, but you'd also have Bowie in there, and
Do you play that kind of stuff?
oh yeah, and
all kinds
some Ted Nugent. He'd rip on that. He'd rip on some Teddy. I mean,
Sing those.
yeah, oh,
I didn't think he had a voice like that.
yeah. I'll tear it up.
Yeah, I didn't think he had a voice like that. I really did.
You sing, Joe?
Not anymore. I'm retired.
Retired. I
I'm
knew
retired.
you
I don't
sang.
sing anymore. I don't sing anymore. People always want me to. Back in the day,
Really?
I used to sing a lot, karaoke and everything else. Yeah,
I
I did.
believe.
Oh,
Scary. What are you gonna do?
Yeah,
no, actually, I did. I had a great voice, like
Who's-
you.
Whose song did you sing?
Ooh, Isaac Hayes. I did like that song.
What?
Um,
Isaac Hayes.
Voice is not deep enough for Isaac Hayes.
kidding it. I might not sing as low as him, but yeah.
Sing it. Sing
No, sorry. I don't sing at karaoke. I don't sing here.
Full
No,
taste.
sorry.
Few
Can't do it.
more.
Can't do it.
Yeah, no.
You
Sorry,
suck.
I'm not like you that just goes up there and sings Big Papa.
I know. I didn't have one song. I stick to it. Stay in my lane.
Yeah, I used to Kid Rock. Only God knows why. I used to love that song.
You don't love it anymore.
Oh, I still love it. I just don't sing it anymore.
Enough of that.
Nice try.
You
Nice try.
failed once again.
I never failed. I'm still shocked Kelly can sing.
Oh,
I just see him rocking the guitar out. I don't see him stopping rocking the guitar out and singing like you have to admit, most guitar players have their faces like they're just playing and they're just
he
getting
does.
down,
Getting into it, yeah.
Kelly
getting
definitely
into it,
does.
they're
Yeah.
feeling it, and they're just getting in the vibe and just feeling the music playing. And you just don't see him stopping doing that to sing a song. I mean, Mark Van Patten, phenomenal singer, phenomenal.
Say it again.
Shut up. And guitar player. And while he's doing all that, it's the same question like you. How do you do while doing both? Well, they just do it. You can't answer the
It
question.
just
You
happens.
can't answer the question on that. You can't. But where I was going with this was you just don't stop singing to play the guitar. You can't feel it. You're not in the mood. You're not in the right mindset to do all this. Thank you. That's why you're the host.
Yes.
And with that aspect, you're phenomenal at what you do both.
Well, I appreciate
I
that.
do. It kills me how you do it very often. It
I
is.
still don't understand how you do that. And keep up with the.
See it.
And I'm sure it's
My brain's working in two different places for sure.
Yeah, I'm
I'm sitting here thinking about lyrics and singing them out. I'm thinking about my vocal quality. I'm thinking about what does it sound like in the
So
room.
much
And then I'm thinking about the drums, and I'm thinking about the bass players
So-
trying to stay tight with them. What's Kelly doing over here? Is something changing? So I got a lot of things going on.
Yeah.
So what?
That's some talent right there, brother.
I give you credit because I tried the
Multitasking,
drums.
you right?
Multi.
I tried the drums. Have you?
No,
I tried the
haven't.
drums. So I could do this. Then all of a sudden, put the bass pedal in. What the fuck? So
Yeah,
what
it
is
throws you
that?
off. Now you got a balance issue.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, oh my god,
Well,
wait,
I-
shit.
I think it's all repetition.
Yes,
Years
just
of
like
practice,
anything.
years of practice.
Just like you're doing the same things over and over again, right?
years
So
of practice.
rock and roll, you got basic rhythms and rock and roll.
So,
And I'm not any phenomenal player whatsoever. I just put a show together.
so we asked Jimmy the same question, but he doesn't sing. We asked him the same question was, how do you know all the songs and all that? How do you,
Repetition there too, and for some reason I can't remember names. Who are you again, Dave? But for some reason, I can remember these songs, and
how do you know?
I remember breaks. I remember all the little nuances of songs, and I might not play a song for 10 years, and I get together and play this song with somebody, and bam, I nail it. It just comes out. It's muscle memory, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
So I think you asked Jimmy this question. We're gonna ask you this question. I'm gonna ask it at least. Who inspired you to play the drums? Was there some band member out there in the day that inspired you to say, "This is what I want to do is play the drums"?
I think it's a combination. He played all the other instruments that is
I
nominated.
always felt like I was rhythm inspired.
Because he said, Jimmy said, not Page, the drummer from Rush.
Oh, Neil Peart, yes. I think everybody was inspired by Led Zeppelin, which I was one of them. REO Speedwagon was one of my biggest inspirations for drumming in Kansas when I was growing up.
Really, Kansas?
Absolutely.
That's a different one because when I met them down here, it was all the original members, and I just picture more of a bigger drum set. That's why people loved who they were. His was just the basics drums.
He had what he needed.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, for all the other ones, I pictured what you just said. Yeah, phenomenal people.
I remember
Kansas.
working with Kansas at Venetian Fest, doing monitors for them, and I was impressed with how tight they were. They were album quality. And the lead guitar player had a patch over his eye, wears a cape. Kind of remind me of Norm Peterson, the character off of Cheers.
He was a big guy too, though. Yes,
he just had that stature. But what a great gig! And going back, you're asking about the awestruck. I wasn't awestruck necessarily, but I had to look for a second because this is a band I grew up listening to many times over and over again, and getting to work with them was amazing.
the only thing I didn't like about them was they wanted to do an Elvis right after the show was over, and that's when they had the fireworks on Saturday, and the crowd was down there, and thinking, "No way the hell you're getting out of here, buddy!" And that's when it was my first show by myself as a stage manager. I'm thinking, "There's no way in hell you're leaving. I can't get you from this point back up to your trailer. You see all these people; they're not leaving."
Those were challenging times for Venetian.
But I still did it. I had the cops surround their car and walk them up. So it was definitely interesting.
I have to go find some water for my mug. Number 2 here.
All right, let's take a small break. We're gonna take a small break, guys. Guess we're not.
No, we're not. Why take a break?
Joe, shut up.
No, we talked. We're through you, or talked through him. Or
All right,
talked through
we're still going.
So my question is to you. Now, with all the people that we've had here on the show so far, band-wise,
Yeah.
we've had a lot of very interesting shows with band people, from lead singers.
Mhm.
He's the only one, like we've been saying, plays the drums and sings. No other drummer we've had.
No.
We've had other
This is
guitar
a
players.
rare.
Yeah, we've had guitar players, and we've had women. that play guitar and sing and everything
Right.
else, but
This is a rare.
this is a rarity. I
Yeah.
mean, this is something that's is it? Do you think it's a dying breed?
Of course it is, because like I said before, you don't see that much anymore. I mean, there are few drummers that are lead singers for their band. Few, very few. I'm sure there were back in the day, it was much less than it is
I
now.
only know one. Like I said, keep calling him Phil Collins. He's the only one I know. Excuse me, that does sing and play the drums.
And that's the talent. Like I said, that's playing the guitar and singing probably is just as probably equally difficult.
It is.
But at the same time, you just have to know everything that's going on around you. Like you say, yeah, what is he doing? What is he doing? How is he keeping up? What am I? You got to keep all this stuff going on.
I never thought about that part either. Like he was saying,
You have to keep all
Like
this
he
stuff
was saying,
going on,
like,
and
yeah.
then not only that, you have to maintain your pace.
yeah.
All right, I'm back. That was a long journey to the water fountain. I didn't realize it was so far away, but I'm back, and I'm going to displace that water with this wonderful IPA.
There you go.
What the hell are you talking about with this?
He's going.
No, we were just saying your thing is it is a dying breed because there's not a lot of drummers out there that do sing.
In the area, I've known
I
of a
just-
few that were singing drummers,
Yeah.
but I don't see that happening very often.
I mean, in national acts.
I didn't actually choose to do what I.
Yeah.
It wasn't something I was like, "Oh, I want to be a singing drummer." I don't want to be Phil Collins by any means. It's just something I kind of fell into to fill a gap, and over time, I got better at it, and I feel more comfortable doing it today than anything above just being a drummer. Now, I play in a band called The Core, which you guys had a taste of.
Yeah.
Wonderful players Tim Spitali and Tom
Yeah.
Rossiano. They back James Watkins with White Summer.
Now, well, I've been trying to get him on the podcast.
No, James.
He's very elusive.
Come on, James. You got to come on out and play,
Very
brother.
elusive drummer.
Yes, absolutely.
You want James on?
Yeah.
All right.
I tried to get him on, but he lives in Chicago, right?
Oh,
Correct.
And he said it was in between holidays. He doesn't know when he's gonna be back in town.
Do you want him on? I know it's
Yeah.
scheduled for
I've
White
already,
Summer.
I've already contacted him. I talked to him about it.
I get him and his son. His son plays for him at the same during their
Old
gigs.
Adam.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he played during the same gigs. Actually, doesn't Adam do the sound for him or whatever?
I'm not sure.
Really, he used to.
I'm not sure.
Do you know?
I'm not sure.
I do not.
You
But
think- did you go to last show?
James
I did not.
That's
Watkins.
Wait, no, you were playing, weren't you?
I was actually in South Bend doing a show.
That's awesome. See, I'm more impressed with your multi-talents of sound, knowing the sound, everything
Production.
else. Production. How do you know what sounds good for a band? Do they tell you when you're behind the little boards, changing the mics up and down to make them sound good? How do you know that they make them sound good?
Okay, so some bands will have somebody that'll delegate
What they
those.
want.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it just goes through experience of working in different genres,
Right.
knowing what bands are supposed to sound like when it comes to country, jazz, gospel, rock, blah 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 down the line, right? So I mix appropriately, and I try to stick to my guns and do what I do.
See, that sound part. Always thinking, damn, that's one thing I could never do and never wanted to learn because there's no way I could sing and damn. If that guy didn't tell me I sound good here, okay, I don't know where to go. There's no way in hell I could do this. I can say you're too loud or not too loud, but there's no way I can be singing.
I'm very comfortable telling a guitar player he's too loud.
Really?
I'm very comfortable with that, and I've been parked back at, and we're talking national acts like Three Dog Night and big bands. When I first started, I'm out doing festival gigs where I have 10 bands a day, and there's a lot of big national acts, and I'm young. I barely know who these guys are other than by name.
Yeah.
But I'm up there going, okay, so how's this guitar player playing? And the tech is like, he plays for himself, and it doesn't matter. his knob goes to 11, and that's that. Basically, fuck off.
How do they take it? They say, "Oh, you listen to me. I'm the one that's performing."
In my younger days, I was just like, okay, it is what it is. As I get older, I might push back a little bit and just put a little politics in there and go, look, I'm on the same team as you. I want everything to sound great. You know, in my younger days, okay, fuck you. I'm turning you off.
And they're like, "I don't know what's happening." And you look down behind the
Attitude is everything, right?
behind the big giant console. You think, I'm trying to work. I'm trying to think. Yeah. How do you like me now, jackass?
I have worked with some wonderful engineers over the years that have had to endure things from some very large acts, and I've learned from their attitude. And a lot of these guys were kind of the fuck you attitude. I don't care how big you are and what you do. If you disrespect, we're not going to help you.
Besides all the
Fair
music,
enough.
besides all the bands around here, who is the top bands that you would love to go see all the time if you're not doing a gig and you want to go see them besides your own band? Besides your own band.
Oh, I don't see my own band.
You just want to see them.
But I'm too busy working. So, you know, that's a toughie because I'm a very bad patron. Being in the tech industry for so long, I'm so critical.
All right, I'll change it then. I'll change it. What bands do you like doing sound for when they come around and they're in their local? Oh, damn.
That's a tougher question. You know what I'm saying?
Not really, because he does the sound for them all. He should know
Thanks, Joe.
who he likes to work with.
I don't have favorites.
Oh, damn, he's not going to
Just
answer
like
the
that.
question.
What I enjoy is my job and the gratification that comes after the
You
fact.
don't have to bullshit me on
I
that
love
one.
the answer.
You don't have to bullshit me on that one.
You skated around. Great
Yeah, he
question.
did scan it around that one too.
Got you good.
He
Joe.
ice skated
Cheers.
and did a figure eight. And did a figure eight.
Mark, well played.
Oh, look at that.
Say,
You can't even hit the button on that one.
okay, I won't. That was well played.
You got Joe'd butt on that
No,
one.
you won't even know. You don't
Yeah.
deserve it. So you did.
Certified badass.
Yeah, that's what you said.
Damn.
That was a badass move right there.
Yeah,
He's like, oh, is that because well, that's the side.
Stiff arm and push me into the
I've
ground.
been in the big pond. I've been in the small pond. You know,
Yep.
I've dealt with everything in between. Attitudes, talent. It all mixes along.
I didn't get Joe.
Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't. You can't Joe.
Yeah, you got Joe.
He just skated around my question. He didn't get Joe.
you got Joe.
It's a tough one, man.
Yeah.
It really is. There's just too much out there to even remember. Fading memory for sure.
Who do you like to go see around here then? Damn, you can answer that question.
I'm not a good patron.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm a tech.
Yeah, you don't go.
I live the tech life. It's kind of a shame because I missed out on those side of things. You know, my past friends loved to go out to shows, and it was tough for me to go. And I did a Kid Rock show in Allegan. That was wonderful, and I worked Allegan County Fair many times with a sound company doing huge bands there, just like Kid Rock back in the day. And that was kind of fun, but I'm sitting here criticizing the sound. It sucks.
Who are the best bands you've seen doing this type of work?
Well, that's a toughie too.
God,
There's just so many of them.
Yeah.
Right.
Give me two at most
that you remember and you liked.
that you remember and you
Well, I go back to
enjoy.
David Crosby. I had a very unique situation where David Crosby played in a band called CPR. It was Crosby, somebody, and somebody. No. They came through Heartland back in the 90s, and it was Crosby with his illegitimate son who was a pianist. And they put up a grand piano on stage. So it was basically a three-piece band. They had a bass player and a drummer, but it was amazing to see somebody like David Crosby who I've seen with Crosby, Stills, and Nash. But in this format, he was doing nothing but improv.
Really?
Whereas where he's with his normal format, there's no improv. They do their show. They've been doing it for 30 years, 40 years, you know? In this instant, he's improvising with his illegitimate son on piano, and they're just jamming. And I'm right there enjoying every bit of this. It's like, wow, this is really cool. This is kind of magic, you know? In my sound career, when I got started, uh, I was all about rock and roll, working the club scene. And then I was offered, if not forced, to go out on the road doing a tour for a gospel performing act. It was a play. Um, the play consisted of two members who were brothers that were in an act called Jodeci back in the 90s. They were kind of a big hip hop R&B act.
Yeah.
I know what Jodeci is.
I'm sorry, not hip hop, but R&B.
Okay.
I know. Yeah.
Very gospel, big voices. So they were the leads of this play that I was out doing sound for, and this is how I cut my ears out on the road. I didn't know anything about them, and I was learning sound, and I was touring everything up and down the East Coast to Florida and the South, and going through theaters I've never seen. It was an amazing time, and working with such artists to boot, and such a compelling story that evolved right in front of my eyes, where the director would come out on stage with a broom and just improv to keep the story going because he didn't like where things were going. It was kind of interesting. That was kind of it was kind of the start of my times, and my partner Josh was out with me on those ventures. We probably did 30,000 miles plus in a year up and down the East Coast in a box truck, and just hauling around sound and props and everything. And
Josh.
Eagle. Morgan's brother.
I do. Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to Audiobomb Productions.
Yeah. Morgan's on the end of the next month.
Right on.
Yep. She's on the 30th, I do believe.
That should be fun.
Yeah, we've got a big month. Big month.
Oh,
God help us.
next month?
Yeah.
Yes. Is it 5 weeks in a month?
Yes.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
Compared to this month, we're almost out of it.
Yeah.
That means spring's right around the corner.
This month was probably the toughest month to book because all the snowstorms and everything else, weather was really
people were backing out.
It was really hard. I mean, it was tough finding people and everything else. This month was the toughest for me.
Well, you talk about this month. I've been working down at the Ghost Light Theater. That's down in Benton Harbor. That's a community theater started by Paul Mile.
Yep. Let's get into that.
And he had a local production called Clyde's. This was a production that was surrounded a kitchen of a truck stop, and he had a lot of players that came from Chicago, so they were battling the weather to be able to come over here and do this production.
His productions are pretty cool because it's all low budget, but they all do it themselves, and he finds ways to boost this up without any advertisement. Pretty much, I didn't know anything about it until probably 2 years ago when it is Rocky Horror Picture.
Yes, and Rocky Horror Picture has been a reoccurring thing every year now.
Every year now, yes.
Which I was involved with this last year, and a wonderful production. They do such a good job down there.
And actually, Brandon was on it 2 years ago, and I think did he come back this year? Brandon Rock. Brandon Rock.
Okay.
Yeah. No, he came on, but he is also on Rocky Horror Picture.
Okay.
I know 2 years ago he was. They wanted him to come back this year. I don't know if he did or not. I can't remember if he was going to do it. But yeah, that production right there is huge every year now.
It was a lot of fun down there. They're starting to build a following for a recurring thing around that time.
And I saw that they did musical Rent down there, and that's a pretty big musical right there. And now they're doing musicals and plays and everything else.
Things are picking up for them
That's-
down there for sure.
I'm proud of them.
It's a big deal for our area, I believe. Twin City Players have been a staple in the area for community theater
Yes.
for a long time. Benton Harbor is rebuilding, and this is really just a cornerstone in the rebuilding process.
And they're in the art district area.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they're in there, right in.
And they're
on the
right
corner.
next to the Citadel there
Yeah.
on Hinckley.
Yeah.
So they're right down from delivery, right in the whole arts district right there.
Yes, they
And they're just putting together such wonderful productions down there.
I give him props where he's at and everything else. I give him props because that's a great location to be. Pretty much a block and a half from everything that's that's in that area, from the brick house to delivery to the mason jar. So props to him to have that there.
Absolutely. Benton Harbor is definitely has a long journey, and they're on the right path to getting something back to where they were back in the 60s and 70s. Yeah.
Trying at least. I give them credit. They're definitely trying. Anything else you want to know?
All right. No, we got 9 minutes left in the podcast.
We can do our
We'll do that.
yeah, we can do our final thought. I had to think what the word was. So our final thought is while he's drinking is you can promote where you're at, you can promote anything you're doing, you can do anything you want to talk
Just send
about.
shout out to what's going on with you and your future endeavors.
I currently work at Notre Dame at the DeBartolo Performing Arts Center. Lots of things going on over there culturally, of course, because Notre Dame.
Go Irish.
Working, absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Working with the Ghostlight Theater in Benton Harbor, I think that's something that everybody needs to keep an eye on. They need to get involved. They need to spread the word. The Ghostlight is more than just coming out and seeing a show. It's about spreading the word to the community and trying to bring the community together so they can build.
Right.
Benton Harbor is a wonderful community that needs to come back from where they're at.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
Furthermore, we're just moving forward. Live entertainment. Cheers to that. That's what I say across the boards. Everybody that's out there that does live entertainment and supports it, let's continue that. It's more than the electronic world.
Where are you going to be this weekend?
And this weekend,
Yeah.
I will be at this man's home,
Yes.
the Sandbar, the
Yes.
wonderful Sandbar in St. Joe.
Yes.
The weather should be wonderful.
That should be
To come
going on.
out and party with the band High Biz, the power trio with the only singing drummer around
Yes.
that does all the
Bill
fucking
Collins
hits.
style.
And we're gonna crank out all those 90s dance hits and everything,
All right.
and we're gonna have a good time.
I love it.
You might have a dance floor. Yeah.
You may. Yeah.
We'll push
We'll give you some space.
We'll give you some space.
We'll make some space.
We love the intimate space.
Yes.
Yeah, we try.
Joe, go ahead. Check it out.
Well, for you, Mark, thank you for coming on the show. Dude, it was awesome having you, learning more about you, learning some stuff that I had no fucking clue, all the way from the instruments.
Trombone.
The instruments you played and everything else up to the drums. And how
Piano.
you finally got the drums. Don't interrupt me. Why do you hate it? So, and going from there, you keep rocking it out. Keep doing the Phil Collins style. Be the only one around that does it. Rock out to you and all the productions that you do and the shows that you're producing. Good job.
I appreciate it, and I just hope that everybody out there can come out and see a live production somewhere.
Yeah. All right.
Because that's what it's all about. We just need to live through live productions for sure.
Now, James Gill.
All right, Mark. Dude, like Joe said, I have to learn some stuff about you. Something I've never even known about you. That's a good thing right there. I tell you what, keep doing what you're doing, man. And I've always had you've always been cool to me, man. Always been cool to me. Dude, if I had half the talent that you have in the musical industry or any of that, I would be amazing. But I'm not. But I digress. All right. If I had that, dude, I wish I would have followed the violin.
I believe God put me where I'm at,
Exactly.
and I'm grateful for it.
Stick to the recorder.
Yeah, so I'm sticking to the record. I still have it at home. I had it in hide and put it on my storage units. Anyway, I want to thank you for coming out, man. Thank you for joining us. We're gonna get you back on, man. We're gonna do some other stuff.
Appreciate you guys.
I want to thank everybody that watched us tonight. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch. Not so much on Twitch, but thank you for watching, and you guys continue to watch us. Keep helping us grow, and we'll continue to put out content like this.
Oh yeah.
This is the third act there, episode 56.
Oh, we have Monday. We have Josh Hassel.
Hassel. Another Z.
I don't know. I didn't know.
Yeah, we got Cloud9 on Monday. Guys, check us out again. Keep watching us. Keep supporting us. I appreciate it. We love you guys. This is the third Act podcast for episode 56. We are getting up the screen.
Cheers.
Thanks, Mark. Yeah.